Google Earth found it, but the coordinates were scrubbed. Modern maps call it a geological anomaly, but Plato's ancient texts call it home. We aren't just looking for a lost city, we're looking for a suppressed history. Is Atlantis hidden in plain sight? Have you ever wondered if the story of Atlantis could be more than just a myth? Across centuries, countless explorers, philosophers, and dreamers have searched for this lost civilization. Plato's vivid descriptions fueled centuries of fascination, yet solid evidence remains elusive. Was Atlantis a real place swallowed by a cataclysm, or merely a powerful metaphor for human pride? Today, we will explore the myths, the clues, and the science surrounding Atlantis. We will travel from ancient texts to sunken cities, from legendary maps to modern satellite technology. What truths, if any, could be hiding beneath the waves? Let us begin this journey into one of history's greatest mysteries.
The story of Atlantis first appears in Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE. He describes an advanced society, rich in culture, technology, and power, that disappeared in a single catastrophic event. Some believe Plato based his account on real memories of ancient disasters, while others see it as pure allegory. The description of Atlantis's architecture, canals, and massive palaces is breathtakingly detailed. Over time, interpretations multiplied, mixing fantasy with archaeology. From the Mediterranean to the Caribbean, dozens of locations have been proposed as Atlantis. Ancient maps, including the controversial Piri Reis map, further fueled speculation. Modern satellite surveys have revealed underwater anomalies that some claim could be remnants of a lost civilization. Critics argue these are natural formations, but the debate rages on. Atlantis has become a canvas for our dreams and fears of civilization's fragility. Some view it as a cautionary tale about moral decay. Others see it as a symbol of forgotten ancient wisdom. The mystery of Atlantis survives because it is as much about us as it is about a possible lost land. What draws us is not only the idea of discovery, but the hope of connecting with something timeless. Atlantis is a mirror that reflects our deepest hopes and warnings.
When Plato introduced Atlantis to the world, he presented it not just as a lost island, but as a moral lesson. According to him, Atlantis once represented a utopia of balance and harmony. However, as wealth and arrogance grew, corruption spread across the land. Their military ambitions angered the gods, who decided to destroy the civilization. Plato's vivid descriptions of gleaming temples, grand harbors, and flourishing gardens shaped our lasting image of Atlantis. Yet, he never claimed first-hand knowledge. His source was said to be ancient Egyptian priests. This indirect storytelling adds another layer of mystery. Was Plato relaying a real, forgotten history or crafting a timeless allegory? The answer remains one of history's greatest puzzles.
Plato's account of Atlantis is filled with incredible detail that has fueled countless theories. He claimed the story originated from ancient Egyptian records passed down through the generations. Atlantis was said to be located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. The civilization supposedly thrived around 9,000 years before Plato's time. Its people built grand cities with concentric rings of land and water. Gold, silver, and precious materials were abundant, and sophisticated laws governed daily life. The Atlanteans mastered agriculture, architecture, and navigation beyond the known world. But as power corrupted them, they sought to conquer neighboring regions, including Athens. According to the myth, the Athenians resisted and eventually triumphed. Soon after, Atlantis was punished by the gods and disappeared beneath the ocean. Some scholars argue that Plato was warning Athens against imperial overreach. Others wonder if Plato encoded real historical memories of an ancient catastrophe. These possibilities keep the dialogue around Atlantis alive. Every generation reinterprets the tale through its own lens. Perhaps the real Atlantis is not a physical place, but an eternal story about the fate of civilizations.
Legends of a great flood and lost civilizations are not unique to Plato's writings. Across distant continents, indigenous myths echo tales of sunken lands and perished kingdoms. In South America, some legends speak of a golden city swallowed by water. In India, ancient texts like the Mahabharata hint at advanced cities lost to cataclysm. Could these stories preserve fragments of a real, forgotten past? Or are they reflections of a shared human fear of disaster? Some researchers believe common themes in world mythology suggest a real ancient trauma. The cultural echoes point to a memory much older than written history. Following these trails could bring us closer to understanding Atlantis, or what inspired it.
Ancient flood myths, like those of the Sumerians and the Native Americans, mirror the story of Atlantis. In Mesopotamian texts, a great flood wipes out nearly all humanity, much like Atlantis was wiped from the earth. In Mesoamerican myths, the city of Aztlan shares curious similarities to Plato's descriptions. Polynesian legends also recount islands that vanished beneath the waves. This global pattern hints that ancient people might have remembered real cataclysmic events. Perhaps the end of the Ice Age, with rising sea levels, inspired these shared memories. Some scholars point to sudden geological changes that could explain massive floods. Archaeologists have uncovered submerged ruins off the coasts of India and Japan. These findings suggest ancient coastal civilizations existed before recorded history. Could Atlantis have been one of them, lost to the sea and preserved only in memory? Or are we projecting modern desires onto old myths? These questions continue to challenge historians and dreamers alike. Mythology, archaeology, and geology blend into a tapestry of possibilities. Atlantis is no longer just a single story, but a global phenomenon. Across cultures, the idea of a lost world beneath the oceans refuses to disappear. Atlantis remains embedded in the human imagination, always just out of reach.
Modern archaeology has uncovered real cities long thought to be myths. From the submerged ruins off the coast of India to the drowned cities of the Mediterranean, history is full of lost worlds. Some researchers argue that finding Atlantis may not be as impossible as once believed. Sophisticated sonar and satellite imaging are revealing structures beneath the oceans. However, none have perfectly matched Plato's detailed description. Was Atlantis an amalgamation of several real places? Or was it a civilization so unique that no other evidence remains? The search continues across continents and underseas. Each new discovery challenges what we think we know about ancient history.
The ruins of Herakleion, a city thought to be pure legend, were found submerged off Egypt's coast. Similarly, ancient cities like Pavlopetri in Greece have been discovered underwater, remarkably preserved. These findings prove that ancient coastal cities could and did vanish. In the Caribbean and near Cuba, sonar images have suggested the presence of underwater structures. In the Mediterranean, strange formations have fueled theories linking Atlantis to the island of Santorini. Santorini, devastated by a massive volcanic eruption, matches aspects of Plato's disaster timeline. However, skeptics argue that Atlantis, if it ever existed, was something far grander. Modern expeditions have combined archaeology, oceanography, and remote sensing technologies. Yet the vastness of the oceans makes a full exploration nearly impossible. Some believe evidence is hidden beneath layers of sediment. Others suggest that rising sea levels buried entire civilizations beyond recognition. Every expedition adds pieces to the puzzle but leaves the ultimate question unanswered. Could the true Atlantis lie beneath our very feet, hidden under centuries of ocean movement? Or are these ruins remnants of civilizations that only faintly resemble the myth? The more we discover, the deeper the mystery seems to grow.
Throughout history, natural disasters have shaped myths and rewritten civilizations. Massive volcanic eruptions, devastating earthquakes, and sudden tsunamis left deep scars in human memory. Plato's account of Atlantis mentions a catastrophic destruction by earthquakes and floods. Geological evidence shows that events like the Thera eruption could match such descriptions. Some researchers argue that a real-world disaster might have inspired Atlantis's fate. Entire cultures have vanished overnight due to forces of nature. Could Atlantis be the collective memory of such calamities? These echoes of sudden ruin resonate across multiple traditions. Disasters, both ancient and modern, remind us of nature's unmatched power to reshape human history.
The eruption of Mount Thera, around 1600 BCE, was one of the most violent events in ancient history. It devastated the Minoan civilization, once thriving in the Mediterranean. Some scholars suggest that the sudden destruction of Minoan ports may have birthed Atlantis myths. Similarly, massive tsunamis from undersea earthquakes have swallowed entire cities in Japan's past. In South America, legends of vanished coastal settlements hint at abrupt natural cataclysms. Ancient oral traditions often preserve the terror of sudden, unexplained devastation. These stories mirror Plato's description of Atlantis sinking into the sea. Across history, environmental collapses have led to migrations and forgotten cities. The Sahara Desert itself was once a lush region, abandoned due to climate change. Did early civilizations witness such dramatic shifts and encode them into their myths? Archaeological discoveries often reveal layers of destruction by fire, flood, or quake. Some researchers propose that Atlantis was not one place, but many collapses remembered as one story. Human memory often transforms real tragedy into legendary narrative. Modern science offers tools to investigate ancient disaster layers. Still, blending myth and geology remains a challenge. Understanding how ancient people responded to catastrophe might bring us closer to Atlantis's truth.
Over the centuries, Atlantis has been mapped onto dozens of locations across the world. Some believe it lay in the Mediterranean, others in the Atlantic, and a few even point to Antarctica. Each new theory brings fresh excitement and skepticism. Pseudoscientific claims have complicated serious research into Atlantis's origins. Entire hoaxes, such as false maps or planted artifacts, have misled explorers. Nevertheless, genuine archaeological finds often get entangled with Atlantis fever. Discerning fact from fabrication requires caution and discipline. Atlantis has become a mirror, reflecting each era's hopes, fears, and fantasies. In this maze of truth and fiction, the real mystery only deepens.
In the 19th century, Ignatius Donnelly's book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, reignited popular interest. He claimed Atlantis was the root of all major ancient civilizations. Later, locations like the Bahamas and the Azores were proposed based on vague evidence. Some even argued that pyramids found underwater near Yonaguni in Japan were remnants of Atlantis. Pseudo-historians blurred scientific lines by linking Atlantis to alien theories. Nazi expeditions sought Atlantis as a supposed cradle of an Aryan race. Fiction writers fueled further imaginations, embedding Atlantis deeper into popular culture. False maps and fabricated ruins sold to credulous audiences only muddied serious research. Despite hoaxes, every generation found its own Atlantis somewhere new. Critical studies show that Plato likely intended his story as a moral allegory. Yet the idea of a lost utopia resonates too strongly to vanish. Some scientists continue searching, hoping myths hide slivers of forgotten truth. Today, sonar mapping and deep-sea archaeology test the wildest claims. Separating serious investigation from wishful thinking remains difficult. Whether real or symbolic, Atlantis' story remains too powerful to ignore. Its shifting face continues to haunt human imagination worldwide.
Today, advanced technology allows us to scan the ocean floors and ancient landscapes with precision. Despite these efforts, no definitive evidence of Atlantis has surfaced. Some archaeologists believe that true discoveries are hidden under sediment layers or deep underwater. Geological surveys have identified sunken structures, but none perfectly match Plato's descriptions. Researchers debate whether Plato's account was purely symbolic or rooted in distorted history. Satellite imagery has revealed lost cities and coastlines, yet Atlantis remains elusive. Scholars argue that Atlantis might be a blend of several real-world collapses. Mythology often preserves deeper truths, waiting for science to catch up. As research continues, the line between imagination and forgotten history grows thinner.
Modern archaeology uses remote sensing, ground-penetrating radar, and deep-sea sonar to hunt for lost worlds. New discoveries like submerged cities off India's coast reveal how ancient settlements can vanish without a trace. However, none have proven to be Atlantis. Genetic studies show how human populations have shifted dramatically after environmental disasters. If Atlantis existed, its survivors may have blended into emerging civilizations. Some geologists suggest rapid climate events, like rising seas at the end of the Ice Age, could explain myths of sunken lands. Meanwhile, historians remind us that ancient texts often use allegory rather than literal geography. Plato's tale may reflect the decline of real maritime cultures like the Minoans. New methods like 3D underwater mapping continue to explore uncharted ocean regions. Artifacts found in unexpected places, such as ancient ports buried inland, hint at forgotten histories. Yet no universally accepted site has been confirmed as Atlantis. Each discovery offers clues, but also raises new questions. Are we chasing a ghost of memory or a real place buried by time? Science demands proof, while myths thrive on wonder. Both paths, however, lead us deeper into understanding ancient humanity's fears and dreams. Perhaps the true Atlantis is the enduring human quest to reconnect with lost origins.
Even after thousands of years, the story of Atlantis remains deeply alive. It symbolizes both humanity's longing for paradise and its fear of sudden downfall. No amount of skepticism has erased its hold on our imagination. Whether seen as allegory, lost history, or metaphor, Atlantis challenges our understanding of civilization. Its mystery invites endless exploration, not just across oceans, but within ourselves. Why do some stories endure even without evidence? Atlantis speaks to our hope that ancient wisdom lies waiting to be rediscovered. It reminds us that legends often reflect forgotten truths. In seeking Atlantis, we may ultimately be seeking ourselves.
Every generation rediscovers Atlantis, adapting it to its own dreams and fears. In the Renaissance, scholars linked it to ideals of lost golden ages. In modern times, it became a symbol of utopias that rise and fall. Science fiction gave Atlantis new life, imagining it as an ancient civilization with advanced technologies. Psychologists study why lost world myths resonate so deeply with human consciousness. Atlantis offers the hope that greatness, once lost, might still be found again. Ancient maps filled with speculative islands show how explorers searched for it obsessively. Spiritual seekers view Atlantis as a metaphor for lost human potential. Archaeologists, despite skepticism, often find themselves drawn into the legend's pull. In a way, Atlantis is a mirror, reflecting each era's highest hopes and deepest anxieties. Its waters remain uncharted, both literally and metaphorically. Every clue discovered only deepens the fascination. Atlantis may be history's most enduring unanswered question. It teaches us that mystery itself can be as important as certainty. Sometimes the journey to uncover truth shapes us more than the truth itself.
The story of Atlantis endures because it captures something fundamental about human nature. Whether fact or fable, it continues to spark curiosity and wonder. Every discovery, every theory adds another layer to its legend. Perhaps Atlantis was never meant to be found, but always to be sought. Its power lies in its ability to make us dream, question, and imagine. Searching for Atlantis is ultimately a search for our own lost knowledge. Thank you for joining me on this journey through mystery and memory. If you enjoyed exploring these ancient puzzles, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us continue seeking the hidden stories together.